Hello, CIs. This is JP Miller with Career Inclusive, giving you resume tips to help accelerate your career. This resume is from SRP, and he is on a second or third draft, and his resume is coming together very nicely. At this point in the process, SRP is doing many things correctly, but there's still some room for improvement. So let's look over the resume together to see how we can improve this document. The header information is organized very tightly. His name is top and center, and we could make the name 1 or 2 points larger, but this is sufficient. He's linked to his LinkedIn, GitHub, an online portfolio page, and we've got the email over here. And then he's also got his phone number and his location. This way, the recruiter and the hiring manager can look over his professional social media profiles, and they get a better sense of who he is as a professional. That's a small detail that's extremely important. You always want to check your URLs after converting from DocX to PDF format. All of his URLs are active in this PDF format, and that's a small detail that's very important. And now you always want to check your URLs after converting from DocX to PDF format. The same manner, you never want to send a DocX version of your resume to a recruiter. Now, PDF is the professional format to use. Normally, I'm not a fan of summary statements, especially for mid-level or senior professionals. Maybe if you're a fresher or you're in the midst of a career change, then a 1 or 2 sentence summary statement is acceptable to help establish your personal brand and attract the recruiter to highlights of your candidacy. So normally I would say, hey, let's get rid of the summary statement, save the room for bullet points. But this statement is absolutely excellent. He opens with his personal brand as an Android developer, names relevant skills, the process of the development cycle, and he mentions that he's maintaining 30 apps for 100,000 daily active users in 13 countries. This shows that he has international experience, and that's hot. It's very powerful. That said, we can remove a couple of these attributes to get the statement to fit inside of 2 lines. So there are a few words that we don't really need, such as of, spread, and we can also remove the word professional before experience here. We could remove those 3 words. That'll get us pretty close to 2 lines, which is really where we want that summary statement to fit inside. And we can remove 1 or 2 more words. So for example, we might get rid of healthcare, transportation, or retail, depending on who we're applying to. For example, if we're applying to a healthcare company, we don't really need to say that we've worked in transportation or retail in the summary, unless the healthcare company is extremely focused on logistics or the end user. Oh, we can also remove the word different from before countries. I think removing these 4 words, professional, of, spread, different, will get us to 2 lines, and then we can just leave it as such. Also, we're missing the period at the end of the statement, so I want to be sure to add that. Punctuation is very important. You want to pay attention to the details in your resumes. If you miss a period in the resume, it can indicate that you'll miss a semicolon in your code, which, to be fair, we're all prone to do, but let's not draw attention to that fact before we've been able to speak to the hiring manager. Next, we have got a couple relevant certifications with short links to the credentials, and I'm okay with this format. We never want to use URLs that wrap across lines or get messy. These are short. Each entry fits a single line, so this is great. And the skills section is highly organized and fits inside of 4 lines. You always want to check your skills against the job description, and you can use a tool like JobScan to ensure that your resume features the most relevant keywords per each job description. In the professional experience section, I suggest we show each professional experience in a single line. This streamlines the entries. This format works, everything fits inside a page, so it's not critical. But I tend to prefer, as long as we can fit it comfortably, and 80% of the time we can, we show the position and then the company, and then the location, and finally the date on the right margin. And your right margin, you want that to be nice and clean. All should end at the same point, like this resume does. This looks great. And so we can show the position first because that's the most important bit. We can bold that. And then we show the company, and we can italicize that, and then show the location and the range in default styling. Now that's the layout I prefer. Recruiters do tend to look for dates on the right margin, so that's where you want to put those. Your role is more important to the company, so that helps establish your personal brand. Even if you worked at a FAANG company, we'd still show the position first, so the recruiter will see that you worked at a FAANG company. Right, so give them your title first to support your personal brand. Right, these bullets are laden with quantified accomplishments, and that's awesome. If we can add a couple bullets to the second row and the projects, we'll make the resume all the stronger. When thinking of quantities to document, you can ask yourself questions about your accomplishments. So I'll ask a few questions here, and maybe that'll help spark a few quantities. But what was the result of the app? What was the result of your bug hunting? How many bugs did you find? Or we can name that as a hard number, as a percentage of the estimated total. Did your code maintenance help the team move faster through feature refactors, saving money for the company, saving headaches for your colleagues? How many colleagues did you work with? Then did your bug hunting efforts save money that would have been lost had those bugs not been found until after deployment? We can also name how many apps you're managing. We can describe the budget for those apps. How much were those apps worth? What was the budget for those? And did you create efficiencies in your apps? How many active monthly users do your apps have? So those are questions that you can ask yourself as you work through quantities in the experience bullets and the project bullets. Now, I've noticed that none of these bullets have periods. SRP has been consistent through this in the entire resume, and so that's okay. My preference is to use periods. Okay, moving on to the projects. We've listed 3 personal projects, and they're all hyperlinked to source code. And one is listed in the Google Play Store. Now, that's solid. A hiring manager can check out a couple of projects. They can look at the app on the store, they can get a sense of your work. And this can help increase engagement and secure an interview. The education entry here is fine. If you'd like, we could streamline the education and certificates by having one education section and show the Master of Science followed directly by the certificates, and just call that section education. All right, so overall, great resume. Nice work, SRP. Make these revisions. Let me know how they look. If you would like your resume reviewed, then visit us at careerinclusive.com. Check out our shop page. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/careerinclusive, and follow us on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/company/career-inclusive. We're also on this little thing called YouTube. If you'd like more resume tips, then subscribe and chime. Thanks for watching.